Hi, I'm going to show how you can track changes in a few different ways in your layer project. You can use any mix of the following options to develop a workflow that works best for you and your project. So in the category level, you can create a series of fields. So let's create a field group and we'll call it status updates, or we could call it revisions. And then I'm going to create a select field for status, and we'll call it done in progress or a hold. Not yet started. And these are just samples because you can make any status you want. And then we can also do a notes field that will help us put some context to what the issues or the changes are. And then let's do another select field for responsible party. So architect, engineer, client. Oh, we'll do owner. Okay. So now that we have that, let's give an example of a change. So the status is this spec is in progress. We're currently working on filling in all the information. Or let's say the cost or the quantity changed. So now that I've made a change in my activity here, you can see that there's a log of what has happened. Sylvia Lee edited quantity. And actually, what might also help is if we add its metadata. Updated at, last updated at, last updated. And then this is a person field, last updated by. So this activity that we see here, Sylvia Lee edit quantity at 2:33. And then when I expand the dropdown, you can see that the change I did was that it was 30 and now I changed it to 40. So here in this revisions section, so the progress is something I manually added. In the notes, I can write updated quantity. If you just wanted to, instead of leave a note for someone, responsible party, we can say owner. You can also tag to review. And then you can also see here that I updated, or Sylvia Lee updated this. And you can see that I updated something and you can see what time I updated it. And if I go to the activity, I can see that this is what that activity was. Added that I updated quantity here. And so these are ways you can build different ways of flagging things to people. You can also make a view where we just showed the project status or spec status. For internally, how we're handling this. Two other things is that we have a star if you wanted to flag something and a complete element. So maybe I wanted to flag this because it's a change happened. And then we can also put starred here so you can see what has been starred. And then when I'm done with it, I can unstar it and I can do complete element. And you can see it's been completed. So those are other ways you can, those are like pre-built fields into layer for you to use in that way. and you can use any mix of this. So this is tracking changes manually in a way on the element itself. You can also show the last updated at time and updated by is also here as well. So you can do a filter where show me the changes where the last updated at time is after yesterday. So we can see all the changes since yesterday and we can save this view. Changes since date. Also on this, you can also do is within the past 7 days or the past day. So you can track changes that way as well. So the time frame keeps updating instead of a static date that you're reviewing by. So that's building out fields and using layer fields to track changes. Another option, which is similar to this, is that you would build a category. We'll call it a changelog, and you'll do the same thing that we just did, such as build a status, build a responsible party, then notes. But the reason I would do this in a separate category is because I can also build a relationship field where I link to product spec changes. This is one log to could be multiple product specs. And I would do that because let's say the status is needs review and the responsible party is the owner. And then we can say they need to review multiple specs, multiple product specs. Okay, we could say they need to review all of these. And then we can also say, let's show the quantity. So they can actually click this and then see the quantity and then go back. And then maybe you want to say spec status is owner reviewed. So because it's very flexible and you can make it the way you want, we can say, okay, and we can build our view here. So let's make a new view. Table view, owner, needs review. And then we can do quantity and spec status. And maybe it'd be easier to how about we do this? Bulk edit the spec status. On oops, wait. owner to review. And then, okay. So let's say I change these quantities and owner to review 15. Maybe I can even filter this further where the FF&E type is tables. So I'm going to review my tables. I'm going to update my quantities. This looks okay. Maybe this is back to 35. I'm going to select all, bulk edit, set the status to owner to review. And then I can build. So let's go back. Let me set this all to in progress. Oops. Okay. I'm going to build an automation where update owner to review. Actually, I think we can do it. Let's try this. Owner needs review. Okay, these are all in progress. So when the quantity changes, let's see, what are our options for automations? Notify owner to review changes. When the product specs are updated, we can, I think we'll keep it for now to just the quantity. So when the quantity is updated, we're going to update. Yeah, this is how we will do it. When the quantity in product specs is updated, we will set a field value. We'll set the spec status to owner to review. And you can also send, so it says send a notification, but that's in layer. And if you don't have notification set up, you might not see it right away. So I think, you can also, okay, we can use these, but I think what we'll rather do is just send an email. You can put their email addresses. You can enter in name has been this plus quantity has been updated. Please review and confirm. And then we can send it to me. And it looks like we can also create an element in changelog to say, let's see, if I do custom, no. And then we can update this. Okay, let's do that and see what happens. Okay, so if the quantity changes in product specs, so we already have this view 20 to 25. And then this change to owner to review. And I have an email here saying the spec and quantity has been updated. We'll probably want to update that. So it says send an email where TO1 quantity has been updated to, and then the quantity is there. Okay. And then let's see what our changelog happened. Okay. So then we can keep building this, but then in this changelog, another changelog entry was entered where TO1 is now attached to this. So we can build these layers of logging activity and reporting changes to whoever you want. You can review it through views. You can be notified through assigning people to, you can have a people field. Oops. You can also, in this, we can also create a person field assigned to, and you can create an automation that if this person is assigned, notify them. So I can also assign it to someone, and then I can build a view where show me everything that is assigned to this person. And actually, since I just assigned it to myself, you can see this notification that popped up that says I was mentioned. So these are the layers of different ways that you can set up a workflow to be notified of changes. And then lastly, we also have on our spec sheets that, okay, so quantity is here. So let's set this up. It's called conditional formatting. It's located in the document view options. We're going to create a rule that based on just the quantity field, not all fields, if the quantity value is updated after, we'll put yesterday, and we're going to highlight it yellow. So there are different formatting options you have, but we'll just do that. If the date of value is updated on quantity. So let's see. Oh, we were doing tables. Okay. Let's check our rule. Quantity. Oh, that is after. There we go. And then let's also check this red. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't turn it red. And conditional formatting. We'll highlight it yellow. No, we'll just leave it red. Okay. And then we'll bold it. And let's turn it. This might be weird, but we'll just make it bigger too. Okay. So one thing to note is, so now on our page, we have this where any change is now shown. I cannot control this. Basically, it's just recognizing that activity here on quantity. If this is logging a date after that filter setting, it will change. So for example, what I mean by that is for this table here with the 10, if I change it to 11 and then I'm like, oh no, I actually meant it to be a 10, there is activity logged here. So there's no way for me to remove it because it's not checking if the values are different. It's checking if there's an activity logged. So that is something to keep in mind. I know if you actually want to log changes, if you want to have complete control of how things are displayed on your document view, you wouldn't use conditional formatting because you could accidentally change it and that activity would be logged. But then if you wanted the same look, but you wanted to manually do it, you would use these formatted text fields and then control the formatting within here, such like this. And then this formatting persists on the document view. So while they may look the same, the action is happening in different ways. So then another interesting thing that we are able to do in layer is on the container, you can hide containers. So let's say we put the quantity in here, and I don't know if this actually is the way it would be set up in real life, but I want to show how things can be set up. You can do on this container here to conditionally show and hide it. So you can hide this value when the status is in progress or owner to review. You can hide that container and that container holds this quantity. So the quantity is always there on this page, but we're hiding it from being shown under a certain filter setting. And so you can also set up rules that way where I think this container, you can also change the color. So if your status, but this is linked to a status, but the status can be linked through automations to changes. So this is how you're like building upon the different things that layer allows you to do. So let me not show, oops, sorry. Did I do that right? Visibility settings. Okay. Oh no, we cannot highlight it. Scratch that. We can only hide it. We cannot change the background color. We can only hide it and show it. So no changing background colors, but we can hide it when we don't want to see it when the status equals this. Okay, and those are the different ways to build a workflow to track changes in layer.